Hey, Ruby, how you doing? I got my mask still. Y'all seen that? Hey, Kamaraski. Man, it's good to see you guys. Well, today is a good day because last night the Predators went and beat the Blackhawks, and that's always a good thing. Predators beat the Blackhawks, and I mean, we devastated. I was on the third row, man, beautiful seats. Oh, smashing them up against the glass for me. It was awesome. It was awesome. We didn't get any of those awesome beer explosions, though. Oh, come on. Komorowski, what are you doing to me, man? Don't make me feel like that. Come on, man. Yeah, they finally won. They've been doing all right. They're getting better. They're getting it together. Hey, Rebecca. So they won. We were on the front, and I don't know if you guys know about this, but if you ever are at a hockey game and you got new people sit down on that front row, because usually the front row people are some corporation or something like that. You know, they got these corporate seats, and so they take new people to the game, and the new people don't know any better, and they sit down, and there's a ledge right there, right? And they sit their beer on the ledge, which is right on the boards. And I love it. I love it. It's the greatest thing in the world because you get to watch. And as soon as the guys come by and they smack into each other, the beers fly up and everybody gets wet with beer. And I laugh and laugh and laugh. It's hilarious. It's kind of like I've been trained to laugh at things like that by Wile E. Coyote, I think. I think that's what the deal is. But anyway, so that was my night. It was a good night. I enjoyed it. Hope your weekend was good. Hope y'all had a fun time. I've got some games to talk about. I played quite a few games this week. I got 5 games that I actually got done this week, so I'm pretty excited about that. And but it's time to play some Neuroshima. So let's just get to it. Let's play some Neuroshima Hex, shall we? Let's go. Well, here we are on the old Neuroshima Hex app. Hadn't heard any news about the new app. I was told, and then it didn't happen. Now, I will say, man, that Robinson Crusoe was awesome. And I think they got a little distracted, right? I think they put all their energy into Robinson Crusoe, and for good reason, right? They did great with that. That is a definite thing. But now that they're done with that, I got to get them back on to Neuroshima Hex. We got to get this app done, man. We need the new app. Need it as soon as possible. Anyway, but here we are on the old app. We're gonna hit play. We're gonna do a quick play and see what we got. Let's do it. 35 ways to kill somebody. Kill Borgo. All right, we're going old school. We're going green versus blue. That's awesome. Yeah, you know, tomorrow I'm going to get on there with Paul. David's going to be traveling, and I'm going to get on there with Paul. And, right. I'm Roski. You don't think I've done that, though? I have. Come on now. Ignacy knows. Ignacy knows. As soon as they've got it, they got to give it to me. Of course, I will say this. I think Ignacy is trying to surprise me. I think he wants to, like, give me a package, you know. I think what he wants to do is make Moloch undefeatable and is going to crush me every time I play the Moloch is what I think he's going to do. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to go old school on this one. And these are the base basically our HQ is got the double stars here, so anybody who's attached to them gets an additional initiative as long as their first initiative is at 0. So that's pretty cool. Only in my version, that's right. That's right. That's what he'll do to me for sure. Oh man. All right. So so his guy, oh, I meant to do that. His guy here gives him a +1, so he's going to be faster than us. But we got a lot going on. I want to make sure that we have enough guys attached to us that we can really kick butt. So I don't want to put them in the middle, but I do want to put them out here. And that makes us vulnerable, but I'm hoping I can do more damage to him than he does to us. So if I put it here, we can have up to 6 different people take 2 initiatives. And so we're going to hope that that's good. But let's see what happens. Borgo goes in the middle, which is fine. He goes in the middle. We got a double. Ooh, we're going to put that guy right there. So now this is a problem for us. We got the melee attack. But this guy here is going to go off on a 3 and a 2. So that's gonna be pretty good right there. He's got movement. He moves out of the way. Dadgummit. All right, so he's got a double on us. Now we can absorb that double and kill him because we have this, whatever that's called, first aid, medic. We have the medic. I don't know why I couldn't think of medic. But we have the medic, and that medic doesn't take care of 1 damage. It takes care of 1 source of damage. So if I attach the medic to this guy, not only would it block 1 more guy from going here, but it'd also give us the ability to survive that double attack. Now, I would love to turn this guy. I really would. But I like the idea of shooting his guy from a little bit of a distance. So I could take this 3 and put him right here, and he would get to go off 2 different times and attack that guy, which I like a lot. So I'm going to do those 2 things. I think what I will do is I will get rid of the movement. Now this thing here, I was thinking about, like, you know, putting it over this way, but I think if I put it here, what'll happen is this 2 will go off and I'll block it with this. But this also gums up the work. Hey, Dutch, good to see you, brother. It'll also gum up the works to keep him from putting the guy here, which would get +1 initiative. So I think we're going to do that. Then we'll take this guy here. We'll put him here, which makes sure that he doesn't put a guy there because we want this to hit his HQ twice. So we're going to hammer at him with this guy as much as we possibly can. He got movement again. Daggum, guy and his movement. Huh. Well, now I would love to move, take this guy and turn him. But I can make this guy go off 3 times right here. Woo! Boy, I like that a lot. All right. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. I hate getting rid of that movement because, man, I really want some movement. But we're going to put this like this. Now, look. That makes this guy go off on a 2, a 1, and a 0. That's 3 damage. This guy will go off on a 3, and I'm sorry, 2, 1, and a 0, and it does 2 damage each time because I'm putting this module down. So that means I'll do 6 damage to him. And if he moves again over this way, I'll do 4 damage to him. So I feel like those are pretty good. Now, if I get another movement, I'll be in like Flynn. But I don't know about that. All right. Well, he's trying to take out my module and stuff. Now, what's he doing that? He's doing that on a 3. He's doing that on a 3. Now, I do have movement. This 3 is going to go off. So I can block that 3 and shoot his base at the same time. I can kill this guy, because that 3 will hit this. So I can put a 3 here and kill that 2. I could put the other 3 over here and forget about movement. Movement, I would love to turn this, get 2 more damage on him. That just feels really good to me. Because otherwise it'd just be 1 damage. So yeah, let me do this. I'll get rid of this guy. I'll go ahead and turn this. Now the other thing I could do is I can turn this 3 against his 3, but then that's just trading stuff. And he's just melee, so he will take these out, and there's nothing much I can do about that. I mean, I can't take him out on a 4. So I'm just going to do as much damage as I possibly can. I'm going to put this thing right over here. Feel like that's pretty good. I need a battle. He threw a battle away. Here comes a nice big guy. Oh, and he's on a 3. Oh, that's okay. Oh, this guy's a 4. That guy is a 4. He's going to take out my 3. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Not a whole lot I can do about it. We do have movement. This guy will take out that guy. Gotta take out that guy, but, well, nope, because that's already killing him. Can't move him anywhere. Trying to figure it out. We got this 3 is going to attack them and him, and I hate that because I want it to have that extra damage. That's 6 damage. Now it's only going to be 3 damage. I can take him and move him. Which would take out that 4. Or take out that 3. I'm not going to be able to survive it, so I could do that. So I shoot that 3. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is this. I can't survive this. So I think I'm going to put him here, take him out after the fact, and I'm going to move this guy over here for now. Now remember that 2's got movement, so I can change him later. Come on now. Just want to turn you. There you go. That guy's going to take out that 4. Unfortunately, he's got me dead to rights there. So not a lot I can do about it. Oh, I'm not dead to rights because this thing right here will make him survive. It's true. Didn't think about that. And the first thing that happens is this 4 gets hit. Because this module is attached to him, it will go off. So he will survive and do 2 damage. Yep, that's what'll happen. Let's see. Battle gets thrown away. He's got a grenade. Dadgummit, he took out my guy. Alright, now he won't survive because the medic's gone. Well, shoot. So this guy right here says as long as the scoper is connected to an enemy module, it gives bonuses to the outpost units instead of the enemy. Well, I've got a plus over here. Doesn't really help me much. So yeah, so let's take a look at what we think is going to happen. So on a 4, this guy's going to be gone. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't make him survive. The 4 survives. 3 comes out, and this guy kills this module, unfortunately. This 3 goes off, kills that 4. This 3 goes off, kills that 3. So all that's fine and dandy. This 3 goes and hits us, does 1 damage. This 2 is going to hit us. Now, one thing that I can do is I can put this 3 here and hit that 2. And that'll help us survive, because it'll keep that 1 damage from hitting us and also take out this 2, which is going to do 3 damage because it's got a plus. So I really feel like that's probably our best move right there. If I do this and go ahead and pull the trigger before he throws anything else at us, we will do more damage to him than he does to us. So that is my idea. Initiative 4. Unfortunately. Man, I hate that. Bam, kills him. He kills me. I kill him. I kill him. He kills that. Bummer. But then, here, have a 2 and a 2. And then have a 1. And then initiative 0. There you go. So, we did more damage to him, and he's losing a lot of guys, and we still have guys on the board, so I feel pretty good about that. Oh, he threw off an attack right away. Got us down to 17. And he's going to block all those. Daggum, he's got that block. There we go. So the melee got him 1 damage. Well, let me start moving this guy, because he's not going to do us any good in the corner. Got a -1 on initiative. Doesn't really help us. Man, I need to get behind that shield, and I can't. He's going to do 2 more damage to us. We're only going to do 1 damage to him. But we will take him out. I don't know if I want to pull the trigger on that or not. That's a waste of this guy. We don't have any movement. We can make him a 2. That doesn't help. Yeah, that doesn't help. Wish I could make this one a plus. Well, we're going to get rid of a battle. If we battle him right now, he will do 2 damage to us. And we will take him out. And we will do 1 damage to him. Yeah, it won't help, but I mean, it gets rid of that guy. Feel like if I put this thing right here, it might help us a little bit in the future. Well, actually, that'll hit him. Yeah, he'll take it out. Won't help us now. Never mind. Let me take that back. Because he'll take it out with this HQ. Rah, rah, rah. Think. He'll take that out. None of this helps. Nope. None of it helps. I don't know if I want to put it anywhere. Here, I'll put it here. that takes up one of those spaces. It clears a path for me. I guess it's better than nothing. Let's do it. Well, this is kind of unusual. I usually don't do initiatives when I know that I'm going to lose more than him. But, yeah, and 0. There he goes. Net with a triple damage. Oh my gosh, I hate that guy. And all we got is battle. And I still haven't figured out, like, normally I could just say, hey, I'm going to redraw. I don't know how to redraw on this one. Have y'all ever figured that out? If I X everything, look, there's no way I should battle. Woo, that guy's going to kill my good guy. Ugh, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. F draw. What's that? How do I do this? No. Hold on. Komoroski, if you've got something figured out, what's F draw? Like, I'd need to get rid of all of them. I can't battle. He may have us on this one. I seriously don't know how to say start over again. I don't know how to do it, unfortunately. We're in bad shape. Ugh. In bad shape. Man. This guy. Yeah. This guy. But I can take him out now. And I can save myself. So forget about the +1 initiative. Oops, dadgummit. Forget about the +1 initiative. Somehow I did a double delete. And then move the, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm with you on that, Komoroski. I'm going to do this right here. Kill the net. And I'll go ahead and save myself some damage. I don't even know if I want to connect that guy. I want to connect my HQ. All right. Oh, he put a 3 in. The joik. So I can kill the 3. Yeah, I know. We got some good stuff. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about killing that. But look, if I kill this 3, right? If I kill that 3, the 2 will take out the net. This 2 is going to happen, though. Oh, man, I don't like any of this. This stinks. All right. I'm trying to... How do I take out that guy? How do I hit him? All right. I guess we get rid of the 2. Yep. I'm going to go with the snipe in the net. And then I'm going to move him. Yes, I'll put him here. Yes. And that's 1 more damage. Now, unfortunately, when that 3 goes off, I'll save him. The 2 will give me 1 damage. I'm doing 2 damage to him. That's 14. I can get him down to 12 if I line this 2 up. Man, I wish I could put him here. Or there. I'm going to have to sacrifice him and put him here. There's just no other way. Man, I wish I wouldn't have put that damn -1 down. Give me a better draw. That's what you need. We need a better draw. I'm going to put him here. That at least make us 12 to 10. Another one. See, I won big time last night, man. The Preds, they were awesome. They did such a great job. Now all this. Come on, man. Just giving me heck. This guy's a 3 and a 2. I can put him right here. That looks pretty good. We don't need that +1. I put this right here. I put this one right here. Now I could put that 3 over here and hit that net. That's what I need to do. Hey, gummit, that's what I need to do. As much as I want to do another damage to him, I want to not take 3 damage from that net. So I'm going to do this right here. That'll shoot that net. Then I'm going to do 2 damage to him. Hopefully this will work. Man, he's got a 4 initiative. Daggum him. Movement. 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 Nope. Nothing helping me. I got this double tap, which I need to put there. Get rid of movement. Now I've already gotten rid of all my movement, so this movement equal movement thing isn't really helping me. So I'm definitely gonna, well, no, you know what it does do? It locks it down, because otherwise he'll put something else out and we'll be screwed. So I'm gonna get rid of the movement because I'm not using it. And I'll do 2 more damage to him. And we're gonna do the magic, do what you will. I think we got this thing figured out. I think I'm gonna win. Here we go. Oh, come on. Come on, Komorowski. Let's get it done, man. There's the damage. There's the damage. There's the damage. Oh. Ow. Ooh. Right? Hey, gummit. You know what I didn't think of? That net got a +1 initiative when he moved, I bet. And he actually did damage to me anyway. I'd have to look at that, but I think that's what just happened. Man. 2 points. Could have been worse. Man, I feel bad about it. I feel bad about it. You know, what can you do? Some days are like that. And Komorowski, maybe it is. I spent a lot of time last night telling a lot of people that they sucked. That's a hockey thing. And we got so many goals. It was just a whole bunch of chanting about how much they suck. It was awesome. I guess this is the payoff for that. Because now I suck. So it is what it is. All right. Well, I've got a bunch of games I played, and I'd like to share with you my thoughts on that. So let's talk about it. Man, one time I was at Gen Con, and I sat down with a young person there, and they knew one game. They really liked the one game, and that one game was Inch. And I didn't know anything about it, but I sat down with that person and played with them because they couldn't find anybody to play any games with, but they really wanted to play this game. So I sat down with them. Apparently, they knew everything about it, and they proceeded to kick my butt multiple times. But when I finally won, they decided they didn't want to play anymore. Because maybe I'd figured something out. I don't know. It's an interesting game. This pretty much tells you everything that you need to know. You have a bunch of circles and you have a bunch of dots, and it's much like Go. You got black and you flip them over and they turn white. And the deal is that if I take this ring, basically if I'm the white guy, I would take one of these white dots, put it in there, and then I could take it and move it this way, and I'd be jumping over this guy. And if I jump over that guy, he would turn white too. So then I'd have 3 white in a row and 2 white in a row, and I'd have another thing right here, which means I could put another one down, right? And so on and so forth. This black guy, if he moves from here, like if that moves out and I move across here, that black would turn white, right? But the white that was here would turn black. So, like, you can start to mess with each other. You can't move, if there's a ring in the way, you can't move across the ring blocks the other rings. But this guy here could put a white one down here and then just move one space over to here if he wanted to, right? And the next turn, he could put a white one down and then move over here and change that one. So you can move as many spaces as you want, but whenever you jump over something, you end at the other end of that. And then everything that you jumped over changes colors. That's it. That's the whole thing. And you're trying to get 5 in a row, right? And once you get 5 in a row, you pick those 5 up, you set them aside, and you have to take one of your rings and use it as scoring. You got to get 3 rings off the board, 3 of your own rings off the board, which means it gets harder to do this stuff because you're less powerful as you go, right? It's almost gives a automatic catch-up mechanism for the other guy, which is pretty cool. I like this game. As far as a abstract strategy game goes, I think that this is a great game. The components are pretty darn nice too. You know, you get a nice bag. You get these, like, I don't know what they are. Some kind of resin. They're almost ceramic feeling. And then you got these rings, which are basically, I think it's like that same ceramic type of material, and then they put some epoxy inside. So you got black on this side, white on that side. They're pretty nice. Works out really well. I think it's the quality of the game is good. So let me show you my rating system on this. Bam. So basically what I do on this, hit edit, is this right here. So I say the theme, this thing doesn't have theme. There's no theme here. It's yinch. So it gets a 1. It's 1, 2, or 3. And 1 is not good. Aesthetics, it's okay. The board is nothing much. You know, the pieces are nice, but you know, that's more like components, not really the aesthetics. The aesthetics, they're whatever. It's kind of neutral. Replayability, I think this thing is endlessly replayable because you're playing against other people. It's straight up playing against other people. The length of the game is perfect. I really think that it's a really good game. It's not long drawn out like chess or something like that. You know, think more checkers or something like that as far as length of game, right? The ease of play, I'd explain pretty much everything. We start doing it, and boom, you're in. You get it. So I feel like that's ease of play, easy to teach, easy to learn. Tactics and strategy, that's all this game is tactics and strategy. All this game is. It's all known information. There it is in front of you. Good luck. So I think that that's good. And components, well, you saw them. I think they're great. I think they're made really well. Good value. I say components is a 3. The scoring or the end game or the arc of the game, like I said, that has that catch-up mechanism and stuff so that as you score, it actually gives your opponent a little bit of an advantage and an ability to catch up. So I think that how it scores and stuff is actually it's a neat mechanism, and I gave it a 3 for that. It's grid movement. The interesting grid movement, and there's some subtleties in how that all works, but that's what this game is grid movement and pattern building. Pattern building means 5 in a row. Now, I would say that 5 in a row pattern building thing doesn't seem as interesting as the grid movement, which seems weird, but how these rings move and how that affects stuff is really cool. But trying to get that 5 in a row, sometimes you just happen to get 5 in a row. Like nobody saw it and then you looked at it and went, oh, there it is, right? I think after a while that'll change and you'll be better at doing it. But I gave it a 2. And when you add all these things up, basically what I do is I start with a 10 and I say that 1 is -1. It's hard to explain. But basically, if everything were a 3, that would be a score of 10. So this right here makes us a 9. This right here makes us an 8.5. And then you look for another 2, and this one right here, pattern building, is another 2. So that makes us an 8. So I gave it an 8. And that's yinch. Anyway, so that's that. Now listen, the politics of saying hi to each other is not that serious, right? We're all saying hi to one another. If we were in the same room, it'd be completely different, right? So the next one I got is this Umbra. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. The fairly new game just came out. It's called Umbra Via, or Via, depending on who you are. Now, look, that cover is pretty neat looking, right? flowers and vines, and what's this game going to be about? So it's a Pandasaurus game, and I like this. I don't know what about it, but it's sort of minimalistic, but it's like what's that called when you have the little tiles? Mosaic. But it's a mosaic of black and gray. Same thing here. These are the different tiles where you'll put tiles. This is your offering, if you will. Now look how pretty these player things are that hide your bids. We'll talk about that in a minute, but those are really pretty. And that's all nice, like the idea of a garden, the theme of a garden and stuff. Like, that's really cool. But here's the thing, it means almost nothing. Like, honestly, the theme is whatever. Doesn't matter. This is what you're going to be putting down. So it's tile laying, and you'll be putting these tiles down on this grid, basically, and forming paths. Now, these paths are supposed to be paths through gardens. So this mosaic thing with the paths through the garden, why aren't there flowers and stuff down there? Well, I'll tell you why there aren't flowers. It's because that is what you do. You draw out of your bags, you draw flowers, and you use these flowers to bid on tile placement. So you end up with 4 tiles down there, and they're various shapes, or maybe they're all the same shape, but they'll come out in different ways, and you're not allowed to turn them. Once they come out this way, that's how they have to go into the grid. Okay, and you have 4 of them, and then you only have 3 of these to bid on. Now, the light colored ones are worth 2 points, and the dark ones are worth 1 point. Okay, you put those down on that tile. That right there would give me a bid of 4 points, and so maybe I have more point bid than other people on that tile. If I do, then I get to put that tile down there. And the white ones, they're called like soul flowers. They go away, and these 2 are left behind. Now what you're doing is you're fighting for majority. So I need to have the most blue flowers in a completed path. The completed path could be just it butts up against a wall, and therefore it completes that end. And this guy could be completed too, right? And then it's the number of tiles. If you have majority, then you score a point for the number of tiles you have. And that's the whole game. That's the whole thing. And so there's some subtleties there in that you're basically, you bid to try to get the ability to place it, but then you also want to have your flowers on there so that you have majority. So it's kind of strange how it works out, but that is the game, Umbra Via. So it's it's another abstract, and if we look at that, let me show this screen share again. We look at that here, hit edit, right? Now I would say that my mechanics on this is going to be tile placement, and then I would say it was area majority. Now there's a bidding mechanic as well on this, but that's part of the tile placement, really, and it's kind of weird, but I'd say tile placement bidding is sort of like that's what this game is about. And for that part of it, it is actually pretty darn interesting. That part of it is pretty neat, and I think that is cool. The area majority thing, gosh, it really feels random. I really struggled with it. I guess it's interesting, but I didn't feel really satisfied with that, so I give it a 2. So the theme doesn't really exist. The aesthetics, they're okay. Replayability, I think it's okay. I don't think it's endless. I think that at some point you're going to be like, yeah, it's more of this bidding thing, and like I'm done with the the feel of this. I can see where this can kind of maybe get old after a while. The length of the game is good. The ease of play is actually pretty good. Tactics and strategy, I don't know that 3 is what I would give it. I think I'd actually give it a 2 because there's only so much mitigation you can do in this game, and there's only so much known knowledge. I mean, you're bidding on things behind a blind, so no one can tell what you're bidding, and then everybody exposes it and you see. So there's that. You can't really mitigate that. It's just a mind game, if you will. Components, I think the components are pretty darn good. I like them okay. I'm not sure about the aesthetics again, but I think the components are good. Scoring and whatnot, I don't know that I would give it a 3. I think that the scoring and the over arc of the game is kind of a 2 because it ends up being a race. And usually I like racing games, but this is a lot of luck. And then to have it end in basically a race and like, oh, he was the first one to do it, so he wins the game. So he got rid of all his flowers and he wins, right? I don't know. That's just... Then we got the tile placement and area majority. So in the end, we got 9, 8, 7. We have 6.5. So that is Umbravia. And there you go. So what's up next? Lots of games here. Viking Jarl. Now, I gotta tell you, I didn't play this game right. And I need to replay it. But I wanted to show it to you. I'm not going to be able to score it very well right now, but I wanted to show it to you. Viking Jarl, the reason I bought it was because, number one, I, like Sam Healy, love Viking games. I don't know what it is about Viking games, but I love it. I think part of it is my name is Eric. And I like sailing. You put those two things together, and maybe I like sailing because my name's Eric. I don't know. But man, Vikings turned me on. And what's really cool about this is that Norwegian tabletop game publishers. This is a Viking game made by Vikings. I like that. That made me go, I want a Viking game made by Vikings. And so I got this. Now, I would say the production is sort of so-so because it's their first endeavor as far as I know. The rule book looks like a classic Euro type of rule book, which is not my favorite for sure. That's like old school. That's something you get in Germany. The artwork, it's but this is the player board. And again, the artwork is sort of right? Whatever. So it's fine. Okay. Right. Now the board looks pretty cool. I like the board okay. As far as like a map goes, I mean, that's pretty neat. Right? It feels Viking-like. Right? You got a shield area and you got this big old wooden dragon looking thing there. That's pretty cool. So that's all right. That's okay. But you basically have a ship that you move around, and ship gets 3 movement, and you have an army that gets 2 movement. And they can move separately, or you can put the army in the ship and then move them with the ship. And then they can go to these green shield places, which you would place tokens out on them, and then you would flip it over to see what's inside that green shield. But basically the green ones give you trade goods, so you can trade with them. These orange ones are places where you would raid, and you would go up against one defense, and for every guy that you had that survived the attack, you would get 1 coin. So that's a way to get money. So you get these different resources, and then later you can go here to these white places where you can attack them and get victory points, and or you can settle them. And the way you settle them is you have three resources. You have, and this is what it takes to build a society. It's really important. What you have to have for a society is lumber, right? gotta have lumber, gotta have ore, and you gotta have mead. So you got lumber, ore, and mead. You can totally settle these places. And so then you'll get that victory points. You'll get 4 victory points, 5 victory points. The weird thing about this game is you pick what value you're going to go for before you start the game. So we picked 10. Whoever makes it to 10 first, and you think, well, that'd be pretty easy to get to 10. It was not easy. And we had to fight each other and stuff. But what we failed to do, what we failed to figure out was there was a phase that is right here. Phase 1, draw a saga card. Phase 2, move and do an action, or do an action and movement. The actions include pillage, attack, trade, or settle. And then you do recruitment. And for whatever reason, we never did the recruitment thing. And like, we should have done it like multiple times, and it would have made a huge difference in the game. And so I don't feel like I've played this game completely. It was interesting enough, but I think there are better games. I think in the end, I think that this is going to be like a 6. I think that's what's going to happen. I just can't judge it right now. If I go online and I look at Viking Euro, we got a 7.6. See, my score right now is 6.5 for it. And I just couldn't be any harder than that. I had to be a little gentle because I don't feel like I played it all the way. And maybe it'll go to a 7, but I'm thinking it'll probably be a 6 in the end. Anyway, that's Viking Euro. All right, we got done with 3. Got 2 more left. Just 2 more. So the next one I got is a pretty good game. This next one, I don't know if you guys know anything about Heavy Metal magazine. That was a big thing back in the day for me. And this artwork reminds me of some of the artwork that I saw in Heavy Metal. There's a guy called Mobius who did a lot of art, and that's the kind of art that they did. And I'm kind of drawn to that for whatever reason. I just really like those clean lines and solid colors. I don't know what it is about that. I really like it. So anyway, this is Cryo. And you've got the game, the rule book. Basically, this is set up. These are concepts. And then you've got the gameplay itself, which basically goes down to deploying, which is basically worker placement. And then you got recalling, which is bringing your workers back. And you got end of game, right? So couldn't be much easier as far as that goes. And then there's details about cards and quick references, right? So it's pretty easy as far as rules go and whatnot. And that's one of the things that I feel is a plus. There's a Jarl Viking tile game. Oh, I didn't know that. So I have to look into it. Is it any good? So this game board, it's huge, pretty big. It's 6 panels. All right, basically 6 game boxes. So, whoop, right? And basically, your ship is crashed, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections of the ship out there, and each one of those sections has different things that they do. This ends up being the technology thing. This ends up being a place for resources. Also a scout thing, which is a super powerful thing where you go and explore these areas here, which are caverns. So right now the ship is crashed on this planet. The sun is going to set, and when the sun sets, it's going to be super cold. So we have a tracker up in the top corner, which you can't see. It's just off screen. But basically, when all the suns go away, the planet is cold, the game ends, because anybody who's left on the planet's surface will die. So you got all these people that you're trying to save. Each one of these spaces, like this, like this are going to be places where we'll have our people. 6.9. Well, see, Viking Euro did better than that. They got a 7.6. So I don't know, Ruby. But so each one of these are different. This ends up being a crystal area. This ends up being this green area, food area, or whatever. Anyway, this is how you end up retrieving you need the green stuff to retrieve your people. You need the crystals to kind of use as a resource to get places. Also to get energy. That's another thing that you can do with that. And what you're doing is you're retrieving these people and you're putting them on your player board. Now, the player board, which I gotta show you, holds boom. It holds 3 people for you. So when you retrieve the people, you put them there, right? And this is how you keep track of your resources. Now, you can only have up to 4 resources, which kind of limits you, really. There's so many times where you're like, well, I can't get more of that. Wish I could. But that's that. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your game pieces, and you've got your action pawns, if you will. These are your worker placement things, and they go into these spaces like that, and you send them out. Now, when they come back, they can do different actions, and you get these bits from taking actions where you send them. So you could get this, I don't know, you could get this right here, and it gives you a card. That's what that is, gives you a card. So you could decide to get a card. It's either play a card or draw a card. So you could either play a card or draw a card. But if you wanted to, you could put that here in the board, and then every time you retrieve your stuff, you can bring one guy back to here, and he will immediately give you a card. Now that is something neat that I haven't ever seen before. So you send your guys out, they get to do different player actions, and then when you retrieve, because you only got 3, when you retrieve them, you bring them back here and they do different things. Now on these, you'll get to retrieve one of your guys if you spend something. If you spend something, you'll get energy. If you do something, you can do something else. If you do something, you get a wild, basically, a wild resource. If you do something, you get to draw or play a card. So that's how that is when you retrieve them. And I think that's a pretty cool mechanism. And I will say to you that this is a fairly easy, straightforward game. I know that some of the Dice Tower guys were saying they were worried about replayability and stuff like that, but I'm more in the Roy camp, which says this is a streamlined game. It's got a lot of interesting things, and I think I can find a lot of playing time in this. I think I can play the heck out of this game and have a good time. I think I can teach it to a lot of people. It's pretty easy to teach, pretty easy to learn. If I played it again, I guarantee you I'd play it a different way. I don't feel like there's a way to play it. I feel like there's multiple ways to play it. So I think that this, and again, I'm drawn towards the artwork, so I got a little bent on that too. So I think that that's pretty cool. Now, if we go to the scoring bit on this, we edit that. Now they got a 7.3 on there. So let's see. So we got the main mechanics are worker placement, and I'm going to say with that retrieval thing, I think that's super unique, and I'm going to give it a 3 because that retrieval thing where you retrieve them and they give you stuff, and it creates this asymmetry between the different players, which is cool. And the asymmetry can change every time. So I don't understand this idea of not being the replay on this. I think is pretty darn high. So there's that, the worker placement. The other thing that you're doing, and I don't know how to explain this, the other thing you're doing is you're trying to save these people. So you're picking these people up and then putting them in the caverns, but then you score points based on area majority in the caverns. So there's this area majority scoring. And so you can be in a lot of caverns and maybe not have majority, but still score because you're in a lot. But if you're in these really nice caverns and you have the most, you can make a lot of points. I'm just kind of iffy on that part. I'm just going to give it a 2 on that. So the theme, unfortunately, even though I really like it, and I think the theme does help to teach you how to play, it's fairly thematic in that way. It does help you to, it helps you to learn how to play. Maybe I don't really, I think the theme is a little weird because the ship is broken up into 4 pieces and you go to these different pieces to do different things, which is a little wonky, but it really does help you to understand what it is that you're doing. The theme is linked to how I teach it. I guess I'll have to give it a 3. It's kind of a 2.5. Aesthetics, you know, I like this a lot. I mean, I think it looks cool, but that's me. I think other people might not think that. Maybe I need to give it a 2, but I really like it. The replayability, like I said, is high. The length of the game, I think, is great. I really do think it's good. The ease of play, again, I can teach it and all that kind of stuff. Strategies and tactics, there is some luck in there. I'm going to have to give it a little bit of a ding because I don't feel like I'm totally in control. Somebody can get better. And just like everything else, when you're doing worker placement, that guy who goes first may have an advantage over you, and there's really nothing you can do about it. You can retrieve early, which helps you to be the first the next time, but, you know, whatever. Components, I think the components are good. Scoring, I will say that at the end of the game, you have a scoring pad and stuff like that. And I'm not a big fan of scoring pads. I'm going to have to give it a 2 on that. Worker placement is a 3. Area majority is 2. I think that's about right. Now, I think between theme and aesthetics, maybe we would lose 1. I think what I'll do is I'm going to say both of those are 2.5. So I'm just going to take the theme down to a 2. All right. So that makes that one a 9.5. This makes it a 9. This makes it an 8.5. That makes it an 8. I think this is a solid 8. I agree with that. That is Cryo. There you go. One last game. One last game. And that is... That is this one. And I've been waiting for this one for a while. This is called Gorinto. Gorinto. It's pretty neat. It's pretty. The box is pretty. I like the art on it. It's nice. The rule book. Look how small the print is. Now, I don't have a place on my normal thing to say what the heck. But I would include this maybe in the easy to learn, easy to teach. They need larger font. And I'm not just saying that because I'm over 40 and have a problem reading. I'm going, why in the heck would you make the font size that small? That's stupid. I mean, it's really dumb. All right. Cool stuff about this. So here's your player boards. Whoops. Here's your player boards. And all you're doing is making stacks of different type of tiles. Purple, gray, orange, blue, and brown. And so if you're the red player, you're making those 5 stacks. Everybody's making those different 5 stacks. That's it. So, and you have a grid that you're putting all the tiles on. You put the tiles out here on this grid, and just like Mahjong or something like that, you can make almost any shape you want. The way they do it, I think, is that they put like 1 or 2 here, and then 3 or 4 here, and then 5 or 6 there. You know, like you make a mountain basically, and then you put tiles over here. Now, those colored tiles that you have there end up being the power you have. So if I have a purple tile here, if you look right there, it says purple tile, you take diagonals. So I move this someplace, and then I can take from these diagonals. So I can take up to 4 different tiles. the number of tiles that I can take is equal to how many purples I have on my player board. If I don't have any on my player board, I can only take one. So I'll move that there and then choose between these 4. If I have 1 on there, that gives me a +1. So now I can take 2. If I had 5 on there, I can take all 4, right? If I had 3 on there, I could take all 4. That's when it first starts happening because it's 3 + 1. So I could take all 4, right? The white ones, right? They end up being taking orthogonally, right? And the orange ones end up taking the column, and the blue ones end up taking the row. And the brown ones take the tiles that are underneath it. So when you move a brown one over, you get to select the tiles underneath it. And that's how it is, and you build up these stacks. Now, building up the stacks is how you make points, and the way that you make points, and this is talks about the replayability of it. There's a, by the way, there's a score tracker. There's like a little player board, game board, I guess. Another little game board. This is where you keep track of the 4 seasons, and you have these 4 cards that we're about to discuss, and then you have your game tracker. And I like this player piece. This is first player marker. That's a Garinto. So it has to do with some spirituality stuff, you know, harmony and, you know, whatever it is, void. And anyway. So you got these different cards. Some of these cards give you a thing that you need to do, like score twice the difference between your tallest stack and your shortest stack. So you'll be doing that every season. At the end of every season, you'll have 2 of these, and they're random. If you have an empty stack, score 0. Otherwise, score your shortest stack 7 times. Whatever your shortest stack is, you can score it 7 times. Now, the crazy thing is, if there's ever a tie for your shortest stack, you get to add all those together. So that would be crazy, that one there, because you could have all 5 stacks could be 3 tall. They're all equal. So that, which one's your shortest stack? All of them. So you say 3 times 5 is 15 times 7, and that would be your score. So that would be a crazy score. The thing is, everybody else could do that too. So the other thing is, at the end of the game, you've got these. So these make them more valuable. So you score 2 times your blue or 2 times the brown. So whichever color. So you randomly pick 2 of these, and you'll have 2 colors that will score at the end of the game based on how high that stack is. So you want to have these the highest, right? So between those 4 things, which you will score at the end of every season, you'll score the season cards about the stack, the height of the stack, or the difference between the stacks, or whatever. And then at the end of the game, you'll score your biggest stacks with this. You'll get 2 times your biggest stacks of those particular colors. And then they've got some little mini expansions in here that you can play as well, which are nice. It'll add a little something to it. But I think there's plenty enough game in it as is. But I hate this rule book. Anyway, so let's take a look at Garinto. Garinto. Boo, boo, boo. So you can look right here, Garinto's got a 7.9. That's pretty good for an abstract game, I'd say. And there is no doubt that this is abstract. Yes, it's got some ideas behind it. The Garinto is a thing, and these different powers have some, but it's columns and rows and diagonal and orthogonal. Like, come on, man, that's not really a what do they call that? That's not really a theme, right? So the main thing that you're doing with this is you're doing set collection, right? You're doing set collection, And as far as a set collection game goes, it's kind of neat because as you collect sets, you change your abilities. So, which is kind of strange because then the one that you play isn't the one that you're collecting, but maybe you collect it previously, so you'll have some powers. Anyway, what I'm saying is set collecting actually gets you some additional powers. So that's kind of neat. And I think that's probably the cool thing about the game. The other thing that I would say is besides set collection, the other thing that you have is that idea of the different abilities, the different things that come out, and trying to look at the patterns and whatnot. And when you say the tallest stack versus the smallest stack and trying to get that scoring right? So this idea of end goals, I think this is what I'm trying to say, is the end goals, and they're shared end goals, right? So everybody is sharing the same goals on that, either for the seasons or for the end of the game. They're shared end goals, which is it becomes fairly competitive, right, for that. However, I don't think that you feel too much of a take that. There's a little bit of that, but there's so much of the trying to figure out the whole thing that it's hard to just like really give somebody a big like, oh, you totally, that messed me over and I'm never going to be able to win this game. That's not how this is. So I feel like that's pretty good. But I give the end goals about a 2. Now the theme, again, non-existent, although I will say it makes it look pretty. So as far as the aesthetics go, I think this aesthetics are pretty nice. I like those tiles. I think that you guys saw that. You could see it when you stack them all up and stuff. It looks really nice. The replayability, unfortunately, even though that those are all different things and whatnot, I can see where the actions that you're taking is going to be a little bit samey. Even though the end goals are going to change every time, the actions you take are kind of the same. So unfortunately, I have to give it a 2. The length of the game is great. The ease is great. Tactics and strategy are fantastic. I love that. The components are good. I really like the components. I guess I wish that the tiles were maybe not just that plastic, but made out of something more ceramic and like more like a mahjong type thing. I think that would make it a little bit better, but the overall look is good. I don't know if I want to give it a 3. That's kind of like one of those 2.5 things. The scoring is nice, how it scores out, because you're doing it per season. So each season you kind of see if, am I behind, that kind of thing. The thing that I'll say about it is there's not really a good catch-up mechanism. And so I'm going to have to knock it a little bit for that. And I feel like that's that 2.5 thing there. So that kind of makes up for the component bit, right? So we'll take that whole score off of that. Set collection, I think it's a 3. End goal 2. We're good. So now let's try it out. We're at a 10. Theme makes it a 9. 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5. And I think that's about right. Now, I might personally give this an 8, right? But if you look, 7.9, and I think that's pretty good. That's about right. 7.9, somewhere in there, somewhere between a 7 and an 8. It is a nice, this is a nice strategy game. And what's really cool about it, unlike Yinch, even though Yinch is fantastic, Yinch is a 2-player game. This one you can play with up to 5 people. Now, I think originally it was just 1 to 4. They have the ability to add 1 more. I think that's an expansion, that kind of thing. I got this off of Kickstarter. So, but Corinto is definitely one of those games that you may not have heard of. I see that Matt has. So there's that. Oh, wait. Matt, you're talking about Neuroshima just bought all the army bundles. Huh? Well, that's awesome, man. Neuroshima is a great game. I wish more people knew how awesome it is. I guess that's why I'm here and why I come do this every week. Anyway, so that's my 5 games, y'all. So to sum it all up, the Blackhawks suck, and so do I. Garinto is a fantastic game, and I like the artwork in Cryo. I don't know, what else do we have? Anyway, you guys, you did a video for Garinto. Oh, great. Yeah, the designers, I did have an email conversation with the designer of Garinto, and absolutely a really nice guy. You're right. Very personable immediately. Like, he's a good guy. Absolutely. And oh yeah, and I need to remind everybody. So Paul and I guess we're going to get lost on an island. Now Paul said that he promised that I wouldn't die. I don't know that he can really make these kind of promises, but apparently me and Paul are going to go get lost on an island. Hey Paul, do you know which scenario we're going to be playing, buddy? Because I want to play the scenario that's easy. Because that's me. Because if you're going to do it easy. That's what I say. We're going to have Friday and the dog with us. You didn't make any promises. All right, whatever. Anyway, tomorrow, me and Paul, tomorrow evening, vanilla trying to build a fire. Oh, we're going to build a fire. I like it. I like building fires. If you can't win the board game, you could always throw it in the fire. Anyway, we'll have a fun time. We'll do that tomorrow. And I know some of you in Europe, you're not going to be able to watch it unless you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And why would you want to watch me and Paul at 3 o'clock in the morning? Just watch it in reruns. So, because I guarantee you something crazy is going to happen to it. It'll be fun. So, anyway, y'all, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for showing up, for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the board games. I know I enjoyed playing them. I got plenty more to come. Hopefully I can get some buddies over and we'll get those played for you. And I'll give you a rundown. Anyway. You're fine, Komorowski. Like I said, you can always watch us in reruns, brother. All right. Hey, y'all have a good week. Stay safe. Try to have as much fun as humanly possible. And don't let the law come after you. Adios.